Hello. In my last video, I talked about hands. And if you haven't seen that one yet, do go back and watch that in the playlist here on YouTube. But at the end of that, I said, maybe we should also talk about feet and what you do with those when you're presenting. Now, clearly, if you're going to be standing when you're presenting, you're going to stand on them. So I think really you need to think about keeping them still. Still, strong, and stable are the adages to work to here. Too many people will either cross their legs and then you sort of see them wobbling on this really unstable base, or they start to wander or start to dance, and you'll see them sort of moving around the stage and they're sort of hopping around, and quite often they're not even aware they're doing it. And yet to an audience, it's incredibly distracting. So find a space on the front of the stage, center stage, and plant yourself and stand strong. Now, I'm no great fan of the whole concept of power poses. If it works for you, great. But I do think you need to stand with your feet a little way apart. Now, I used to say shoulder width. I've actually sort of changed my mind slightly. I think it's probably slightly narrower than shoulder width for most people, depending on the width of your shoulders, clearly. But I think what you're trying to avoid here is feet together. If your feet are together, again, you will start to rock because you're on an unstable base. So feet a little way apart. The whole thing about a triangle is stronger than a straight line. So you're almost forming a slight triangle with your legs. Feet a bit apart, and then you can stand, and from there you can pivot from the waist and you can talk to an audience. So keep them still. You want to avoid dancing on the stage. Also, try and avoid tapping them. You'd be amazed how many people will tap their feet, they'll bounce on them, they'll hop from foot to foot. So even when they have got their feet sort of shoulder width or however wide apart, they're still unstable. This is what I mean about being strong. Feed it from your core. Feed it, your legs. You don't want them locked, but actually you've got to be a strong, stable base to speak from. So that's feet. Keep them strong, stable, keep them still. It's one of the first things that an audience will notice that you're nervous is if you are rocking around or you're moving, you're dancing on stage. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't move on stage, as we've covered in previous videos, but you need to move with purpose. But ideally, feet a little way apart, maybe not quite shoulder width apart, keep it strong and keep them still. Anyway, I hope that is useful. If you've come to this video via my email newsletter, then while you're here on my YouTube channel, please do hit the subscribe button so you get notified of when I post new content. If you come to this via YouTube, then in the description below, you'll find a link to my email newsletter sign up, where you will get a fortnightly letter from me with tips about presenting, public speaking, and also a roundup of some of the best content on the web. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.